fancy. It is the E-Buzz. It promises to be fantastic as per usual. We have Bad Gal, Cecile, and our music artist, I-Reef. Welcome officially to the E-Buzz.
Anyone
Both of
out,
you.
Lena?
No, I thought you said my artist, and I'm like, yeah, I'm an artist.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
no. So I was
We
like,
have Bad Gal, Cecile,
Music.
and the
Cecile.
E-Buzz music
Cecile.
artist.
The bleach color, I reckon you're hearing, you know.
I was like,
Well, on, you know. So, look, Cecile, we do it right now.
Yeah.
You are our artist.
Or the Bad Gal.
The bad gal. Me call you the bad toe.
yes.
Here.
Well, you know, Cecile have a toe there. First of all, I'm not racist, but Cecile toe black or blue. All right.
Here
And
we
then, of
go.
course, we have I-Reef. I-Reef, big up yourself.
Thank you for having me.
Respect, yes, sir?
All
All right,
right.
so we're going to talk to I-Reef in a minute. And, of course, we have a lot of things happening. Of course, boy, man,
We're going to get into some of our hot topics.
topics.
So feel free to partake in
Right.
any hot topic that you hear.
And I feel this, you know.
Well,
Ninja man.
right.
Ninja man. Just get better, youth.
Well, he's been in court, so
I
he
know.
has
But him not
left
full
the
100.
hospital. He has gotten better. The defense actually rests today, so
But am they tired?
they have completed arguments in the
Oh.
home circuit court.
Then I start working
So-
and then tired. We don't understand them.
Of course,
Right.
you know, it's Ninja Man and his son,
Yeah,
along
yeah.
with another man, and, you know, they're charged with the murder of Ricardo Johnson, also called Trooper, who was killed in March 2009.
Yeah.
And his lawyers called the jury to set their clients free, citing discrepancies in the statements from the witnesses for the Crown. So it's in the final stages, so very soon I think they will be reaching a verdict. We just have to wait and see how this one pans out.
Ninja man, you know, he has been doing a lot of good.
Mm-hmm.
We're not, I mean, if he gets convicted, we understand. I mean, the law has to state its course. But I really have to say that he's been doing
Mm-hmm.
a lot of good in terms of his children treats and just being positive.
Yeah,
and
and
with a lot of things.
And I mean, how many other
Big up
dancehall entertainers have given a motivational speech to law enforcement officials?
Right. No, I think, yeah, I
you
think,
know, he
yeah,
has
him
done that,
alone.
and that happened recently.
I
but
think
like
Killer went to Parliament. Killer's like, you know, I are.
and Cecile,
here.
she also met with the Prime Minister. So much to talk to her.
No, well,
about
the Prime
to see.
Minister should be honored to meet her. That's a different story.
So we will get into that a
Yes.
little later on. But also in the inside the hot topics, we
Chi-ching.
have Chi-Ching, and he actually on his social media page used the
saw it.
platform to thank Sean Paul for providing him with
that
a
platform.
platform of a lifetime. Basically, you know, taking him on tour with him, and he sees like, you know, you exposed me to
Countries that,
countries that
he
he has
been,
never dreamed
and see
dreamed
the
of
most
going
people.
to, and then just large audiences. There was also
Huge
a video of
enough.
him surfing in the crowd. So it's really great, and especially when persons can actually acknowledge and Ching come out saying like, look, Sean, big up and thank you so much.
Yeah, I mean, we big up Sean. Because really, Sean really
No,
helped
without
him.
a doubt.
Yeah,
and,
man.
and it,
Get there.
It's a really, he is getting there.
Him
Ching,
reach.
Yeah?
I
He
think
might
him
get
reach.
there without a doubt. So it is great when our dancehall reggae entertainers can unite and lift another one up, as opposed to just not sharing the spotlight any at all. So I think
Right.
overall it was a good look.
And the Caliph of Ching kind of light. Light brother, man. Like Ching eat pirital food.
What?
Eat pirital food. It's just light. I-Reef light to it. Let the breeze blow your hair. Stay with it. But I'm just messing with people tonight. But on a sad news now, Trudy Ferguson.
Yes, she won Miss Universe in 1996,
She passed.
and she passed away. She lost her battle to cancer, and
What is
this is
happening?
actually the second contestant in the Miss Jamaica Universe competition. There was another young lady, I think she passed away in 2016 last year, and it was another illness.
Yeah.
I think her situation, it was sickle cell.
Sickle cell.
Right.
You
So
know,
it's-
one of the
it's
things.
really sad. So we say condolences, of course, to the family.
We need to get a
of Trudy
cancer
Ferguson.
specialist here on one of our platforms,
Mm-hmm.
because cancer is taking a lot of people's lives and taking them early,
Mm-hmm.
real young, 20s, in the teens. It don't
Mm-hmm.
discriminate. And I think that there is got to be something that is causing that.
No,
Lifestyle,
undoubtedly.
something. But it is just taking everybody's lives. And we got to be, I mean, when I look at this young girl now, and then, of course, you have people getting cancer at 18.
Younger ages.
Yeah.
And kids, yeah. You may want it, yes.
I can't remember.
Come on, girl. You're artist. I don't know youth.
But,
Youth.
no, you know.
Cross. I
I'm
did
just
too. I
saying,
too.
like,
Me know.
I
I
hate
too.
to see kids. Listen, and you tell the people them about me have black and blue toe. Like,
You don't believe me?
Right?
But
I mean,
beard,
I
like,
Show them a
don't
toe.
beard.
Show them a toe.
I had
An
an
incident,
accident.
yes.
Okay.
It's an
and-
incident, not accident.
and
Incident.
it might as well.
I
be
don't
an
want to
accident.
say
So-
what it was, but
What are you
But
talking
stop
about?
making up stuff. You know, Cecile, you're on a very
I
serious
fell
topic.
off my
so,
stairs. And,
That's what works for
I
her,
fell
so
down my
yes.
stairs
Mhm.
And, you know, I have a really bad injury. And you're joking about it.
No,
Darling,
yes. And it really
Can
it
I
really
tell you
hurt.
something? If the injury did bad, you couldn't reach here. You'd
No,
been
I love I-Reef so
Exactly.
much that I...
That's the-
Plus, is
that-
me drive with this foot.
You know,
But
can I tell you
Cecile,
something? That's the best.
he doesn't know the off-air conversation. So
Okay,
it's
exactly.
legit.
Oh, I know
She
it's
was-
legit.
yeah.
I spoke to her. It's very legit.
But you were on a serious topic though, like you're talking about, you know, children.
St.
and
Jude's.
then-
You're talking about
yeah.
cancer.
And I know, like a lot of persons, we have said
Yeah.
this, you know, just be careful what you put in your body. If you pull up to the gas station, you're sort of careful in terms of the petrol that you put in your car. So consider your body the same sort of vehicle, and then not put in genetically modified foods
I want
in your body.
commercial.
Even though easier said than done, because you know some persons will
Convenience too.
And there's so many things, because then they say don't drink water out of plastic bottle, but I drink out of glass bottle, and then like it's a lot of stuff. You know, the AC in your car, they're like if
your car
been
is
out
extremely
there or whatever,
hot,
and then
like, yeah.
like it's so many.
You're
things
getting
and
confused
Your
now.
so many
phone.
different types of cancers.
And it
It's
mutates
con- yeah,
constantly.
it's like,
Mutate constantly. And another thing, though, things that you thought were healthy, now they're telling you that studies show that they're not healthy.
Yes.
And then, of course, things that are saying that you'd have never eaten those, they're not telling you, oh, there are things in that you should eat. So sometimes I think you should just breathe air.
Yeah,
I
because
see.
they have, don't mean to cut it, Kishimi, but
Yeah.
like I know of people that took their health and physical exercise really seriously,
And then
and they
real quick.
So it's really a
Yeah.
like I'm really scared of cancer. Me personally.
Anybody would
And
be.
I'm
But we're
like-
not giving it any more
Nah,
energy or
No.
letting it out there in the universe. Just take care of your bodies and yeah.
And people
follow
take care
Sizzla's
of your
song,
toes.
Simplicity. We
care of
used
your
to survive.
toes.
All right, so we did say we also have our music artist, I-Reef. So what we do is week after week, we provide a platform for, you know, upcoming talent, and he's our music artist this week. Welcome again, I-Reef.
Thank you for having me.
I see that you're heavily branded. You're
No,
wearing your own.
Yeah.
I know you have to do that, you know.
Who,
Yeah,
who
I have to promote myself.
Of course.
yeah, who is I-Reef?
Well, I-Reef is a really humble person, easygoing. Take life one step at a time, and just deal with it all if you deal with, and look upon the good things. Them try to keep out of trouble. Yeah,
That's
and
very
walk the
important.
right road.
I must say, initially when we said welcome to you, and based on how you look, I did not expect that you would be so soft-spoken. Like,
think you're
I
a bad
don't
man, you
know.
know?
No, I don't know.
I think I will say, you know I are
It's
here.
almost like, you know, a gentle giant in a way, you know, like because of your height. So I was just really expecting a different,
Vibe.
yeah, but, you know,
I-Reef,
it's cool.
Tell me a little bit about your name, I-Reef. How did you get that name?
Well, really and truly,
You
know
swim
that,
a lot, you drive by the reef? How you
no,
go?
really and truly know that my first name was not I-Reef.
How you go?
My first name was King Shower. But
King Shower.
yes, but I used to work at a car wash because I used to wash car to survive.
Okay.
That's where I meet my producer named Damien. Yeah. So after I meet my producer there, and me and him was talking, and because I was there listening, I read him and singing, and then he stepped over to me and said, "You know, you sound good. Do you working with someone?" And I said, "No. You know that I'm doing music for years, but I have to do something to survive. So I'm
Yeah, wash car, right.
Yes. And then he said, "Do you will really like to sign with me?" I said, "Yeah, because it's a long time I'm doing this and I need some help." You know. Then
Want to
he's-
hear what I-Reef sound like?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to hear I-Reef sing something for us a cappella.
Ladies and
I want to
gentlemen.
hear what she sound like.
Right.
I-Reef.
Life goes on And on and on and on, yes. Life goes on and on and on and on, yes. Me see people are dead, and every day me see baby are born, yes. Life goes on and on and on and on, yes. The race is not for the swift, but who can endure? From you got life, my youth, you got hopes. I nah give up, me still a hold me head up. From you wake up in life, you can achieve everything. I nah sit down worry about nothing. Everything me know is just for a while. Me see people that die, give thanks, me still alive. Cause life goes on and on and on and on, yes.
All right.
Nice. And I-Reef, what's the kind of inspiration behind your music? If I should say to you, I-Reef, what's your style of music? How best would you describe your bit of music that you present?
Cultural, positive, uplifting.
No,
Yeah, because nowadays you see how the youths them are living. They turn to violence more than turn to the right things. So I try to uplift the youth them nowadays and try to use my virgins if I can put them on the right track, that they know that it's the right thing they're supposed to do and don't turn to bad, because bad will lead you somewhere where you don't want to go, in jailhouse. So you have to do what's right for you and what's good to uplift yourself from the struggles and the get those where you're born and grow.
Right.
So, yeah.
So since you met your producer who literally saw you at the car wash and you explained that is how you had to put bread on your table, how has your life changed and how people deal with I-Reef now and how you deal with them now?
Okay, really since I meet my producer, my life changed wonderful. It's been going good for me, and
you stop wash car.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
You're
People has been giving me a good response to my music since I put it out there. Yeah, I've been getting a good response, and people are telling me that you're good and you sound good, so keep going on and doing the good works. And that's what I'm doing right now.
I wanted to ask you, you have any plans for the future? You have a couple songs out, right? What about an album? And are there any artists that you see out there that you would love work with?
Well, really and
Talk to me about the album first, if you have one coming.
Yeah, really and truly, I'm in the studio working on an album.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a single now named Survivor. That's what I'm pushing right now.
Right.
But I'm in the studio working on the album.
We should listen to Survivor, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
We have
Do we
Survivor.
have Survivor
Let's
queued?
hear Survivor.
I-Reef, the day upon me bending knee, Jah help me please. Yes, me a cry, oh God. Please hold my hand for me journey. You know how far me I come from, down in the ghetto and the junction. It used to be in a bad part. I-Reef, I-Reef, the day upon me bending knee. 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 Jah help me please. Yes, me a cry, oh God. Please hold my hand for me journey. You know how far me I come from, down in the ghetto and the junction. He used to be in a bad pan, man used to learn food out of pull up pan. Go through enough temptation, back to feel rough, yes me know it long. See me have a determination, but yes man still a hold on strong. You know me never ever gave up, always hold me head up. Can't make the system make me fed up. Me a hustle for the bread, yes me a survivor. We survivor. me know me have to make it in a life, so me a work hard for the shine. Yes, me a survivor, real survivor. And me know me have to make it in a life, yeah, because the limit on the sky. Yes, me a survivor, real survivor. And me know me have to make it in a life, so me a work hard for the shine. Me a go hard and done.
Ma.
Right. Survivor there from I-Reef. Now, do you have any events where people can see you perform? And how can persons find you if they want to book you for an event?
Okay, you know that I was supposed to have a show in December, the 15th at Old Harbour.
In Old Harbour.
Yeah. And
How we book
some
you?
more sure, but I don't sure yet.
You don't sure
the
them yet?
agreement yet.
All right, I want to ask you in terms of how can people reach you in terms of social media especially? You're on Facebook,
Yeah,
Twitter.
I-Reef.
I-Reef.
That's it?
Yeah, I-Reef.
I-Reef, right
Facebook,
across the board?
Yeah, I-Reef.
So if I go on
Instagram,
Facebook, I-Reef.
I-Reef.
Twitter,
I-Reef, yeah.
Yeah.
Instagram?
Not plural, Reef.
Yeah, but
Reef.
and my manager page is Reef Record.
Reef
Real
Record.
Reef Record.
Real
Okay.
Reef.
Record. Real
It
Reef
can't be a
Record.
fake reef.
No.
Real Reef.
Record.
All right, we like
All
that.
right, we also have Cecile here. We're going to be chatting more with I-Reef later on in the show. Cecile, how you been?
I've been good.
I see you're rocking your hair.
Yes.
Talk to us. What's the latest with that?
Well, it's still going. I'm not running it personally because my fans are like I had a WhatsApp because one
Yeah.
of the things my promotional tool that I actually use is myself. So
Yeah,
you
the
know,
most.
like the actual WhatsApp number was actually I would go on the phone and like people would and ask me about it. I'm not actually answering because they're my fans, but then my Kenyan fans would like go email and sometimes I have 1,200 messages popping up. Like,
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this is not
You
because
have
it
to,
was
yeah.
it wasn't like, you know, in a lot of stores all of it's something new
And so they wanted to get it.
right.
Yeah.
And I want people to get it. But you know, it's basically still in the promotional phase and but people are aware of the brand now and
High grade by
grade,
Cecile.
right. So
And when you
grade.
say high grade,
and
it's
trust
proper
me,
high
business
grade.
is hard, people. Like I know music business is hard, and I know, but oh my God, customs.
Business.
Customs
Oh, yes,
are,
business
like,
generally is hard.
I want to give up. But
Don't.
never
You're mad.
give up. No, I say customs.
There's a part of business
Oh
that.
my God, but you know.
Part of
It is what it
business.
is. Like any other business, you just have to persevere and you have to be, you know, you have to go try whatever. You
Yeah.
know, and it's a learning experience for me too because I've been doing music for the longest time and I want to branch out into other things. So I have to see what's going on out there and you know, just
Right.
yeah. So yeah, we're still doing it.
And musically, what can we look out for now?
Well, music, I've been like sitting for a while and I'm going through a lot of range of emotions because there's disappointment and there is like, okay, the music is changing, where is it going? And I'm like not confident with singing certain things. And like one of the songs I'm promoting now, that's called like 1 minute. I did the song and most times when I go into the studio, I just vibe what I'm feeling. And I did that song so slack. And I was not comfortable.
You know, your name bad girl. You know,
And
what's
you know,
that?
I know because of the way I did it, it would have made such an impact. But I was not comfortable, so
You're
I changed.
changing.
I changed. And
Are
they
you
fight
changing?
Me and they fight. No, I'm not changing. Like slackness is good and everything, and I'm not the kind of person to say that's a bad song and that's a bad record. But I don't want to feel compelled to have to
go there.
be slack in every record. And I'm no saint. I love that kind of stuff. But you know that I'm a reggae singer as well. I'm a producer as well. And I have to keep reminding people that as far as I know, I'm the only female artist that I know that produced music and produce her own records and stuff like that. So for me, I've always said that reggae is where I can be profound and I can really talk about my deep thoughts, and dancehall is fun for me. But I don't want to feel like every song
And
putting out there half of this.
It's interesting that you made that comment because I find myself asking a question. What does it take to be queen of the dancehall, for example?
Right.
And being in the game, I'll throw the question to you. In your estimation, what do you think it takes to be queen of the dancehall? Because here you are thinking, it made you feel some type of way doing a particular song. It could be because, you know, you are a mom, you have a daughter, there are things that you look at. But what does it take to be queen of the dancehall, and why the drawback for you?
Well, I mean, there's no drawback, and I don't want it to be misconstrued. This particular song, I wanted to. I was not comfortable with it that way. I've had stuff that I'm saying what I want to say. I'm just not comfortable feeling pressured. And some DJs out there are going to tell me that they don't like the song because it's not slack enough, or the girl them now go dance to it. I don't want that pressure. So that's what I was trying to explain. That I was sitting back watching what's going on, feeling a range of emotions, and feeling like my talent in the long run shall and must persevere. And talent don't mean not slack, but I'm just saying I don't want anybody to dictate, especially a selector or whatever, to dictate that
what you must
this
do.
Music is what's happening in Jamaica, and this is all that's happening, and I don't like that. So I wasn't comfortable with it, even though I liked the version.
No, I can understand.
But to what Kishima says, I don't think what I know it takes to be, and I understand when people say somebody is the queen, it means that that person is happening, that person is the hottest right now, that person is in the game, and very likely, and I can tell you from people like Spice and Lady Sa, who are good friends of mine, it takes hard work. Enough hard work. Hard work. Because the top of dancehall is always hard to be, and it's always male dominated, and that's why you never see two women doing it one time, because it's just too hard. That don't mean that there are not other females that are doing extremely well, and people sometimes don't even know what they do. But Spice works really hard, and she's been working hard for years. So it's not just, what people's idea of what a dancehall queen is. Trust me, I can tell you, if you're at the top right there, you work hard.
And I'm happy that as a female you said that, because I think it needed to be said, especially by somebody who is in the game, that it takes hard work.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
It takes hard work.
And I guess she can explain it better to you, but it's really, really hard, because she's grinding like, I don't like when we do gender-based thing, but man, she's grinding like a man. And Lady Star used to do the same thing, and it's not necessarily like somebody else not doing it, but again, it is also hard for two women to be in that top spot, and they won't let it be like, okay, one person is being who they are and Spice is Spice or Ladies, and then somebody else can be queen in another way. No, they want everybody to be that, which in itself is a drawback, but I know about the hard work.
And kudos to you too for standing up for what you believe in, because being in the spotlight and looking at the game and assessing it the way you're doing it, and then putting your foot down to ensure that, look, no outside force will dictate to me what I do.
Right.
Talk to us a little bit, Spice.
No
Spice.
problem, yeah, Spice.
Yeah, because you are flavorful.
Yeah.
You are very flavorful.
No problem.
I want to find out from you, what's the latest project with you, Cecile? And also, we know the hair.
Yes.
Any other things in terms of paraphernalia that you're putting out? That it make it sounds like you're marketing. Let me give you an uptown thing.
It's just the high grade here.
It's just high grade. That's paraphernalia. I mean,
I know it's
when I-Reef hear that, I-Reef's like, what? High grade. Wait.
That would be cool if I could actually have a grade or something.
Well, it's there are farms being made. Feel free to
I would indulge. I would love that actually.
Link me. I have the land. You see, you can use it.
I would love that. But
I have a link for the land. Yes, right.
I've been silent, like
yes,
for a minute, and it's not like silent. I've been working. I've been trying to figure out what tracks to come out with, and it's the Cecile the Band project that we started last year. Thank God them recovered the footage for the first single, because they had lost it, and I was like feeling really upset about it, because also my very good friend and director and makeup artist and stylist Dexter died, and this was the last project that he worked on with me and directed with me, and I was like extremely upset. And I just went to look at the video yesterday, and we recovered the footage and everything. So we're coming out with the Cecile the Band project finally. And
what exactly is that?
Cecile it's something that I came up with because my fan base is varied, and I used to do a lot of festivals in Europe, and they had to be band shows, and my shows are like between like 90 minutes and 2 hours or stuff like that, and I was never able to do that here. I was never, because people always just think of you as a dancehall artist. A lot of my reggae songs don't even get played out here. You'll go to somewhere else and you hear 2 hours of Cecile, and they're like, I've never heard that in Jamaica. But, you know, and I wanted to, like, push that. So instead of just putting it out there, as Cecilia said, okay, let me create something new, and I would do it, each song with a different band.
Yeah.
And it's actually me with a live band. So the song itself is live. The recording is live music. And it was actually played by the people you see me in the video with. So the first song is called For a Long Time. And I just wanted to push live music because it's something that I love so much.
Absolutely.
I do too.
Like, I rather be here, you know, singing acoustic with a guitar and chill. It's the best
That
show from
is
Cecile,
dope.
and if you've never seen it, like,
Well, if you have money, you can link me.
you can play it?
Yes, I can.
Yeah,
Play
well,
what?
No, he does. He plays the
play
guitar.
He does?
I've seen him play the guitar. I know it's
drums.
kind of weird.
Yeah.
Well, Bones, don't toot too much. I
No,
mean,
darling, I don't blow
How
the
well
trumpet.
do you play?
I play. I don't play. I'm a
How
player.
well do you play?
I'm a player,
Well,
baby.
before we go to a
A
break,
liar.
Cecile, I want to ask you another question. In February this year,
Yes.
you along, of course, with Agent Sasko, you
Yes.
met with Prime Minister
Yes.
Andrew Holness
Yes.
regarding, you know, what can be done to improve the
Yes.
industry. It is now November. Did anything from that meeting was activated where now you can say, based on that meeting that we had regarding the music, X, Y, and Z has occurred, and you know we are on a path? What happened?
No, actually, I'm very sad to say nothing happened, but nothing has happened yet. It wasn't, it's not the fault of the Prime Minister, because what he actually said to us was he gave us the opening, number one, to get together amongst ourselves, because there is power in numbers, and it's not just Cecile or Assassin. It wasn't that sort of thing. And we were to get back to the government about issues. And I'm actually working on issues. It's very hard to get artists to work together. I can tell you that. Because I also heard artists, and maybe they weren't important artists, but artists were saying, why is he meeting with Cecile and Assassin? Imagine that, like, okay, it's the start of something. Maybe who you thought he should meet with never want to meet with him, or never wake up at that time, or whatever. So
Never wake up is,
you know what I mean,
is
right?
crucial.
You know,
yeah.
everybody's a star. So I'm actually working on something that I think is very important, that I'm going to bring to the table, and it's something to do with fellow artists. Actually, something that doesn't even affect me personally. So, but it's something that's very important. So, I don't want to say what it is yet, but
Okay, we figured, because I am ready to leave. What is this something? Tell me more. All right, we're gonna go for a quick break. When we come back, of course, former artist manager and of course world-renowned tour manager Copeland Forbes joins us on set, and we'll be having a chat up with about our E-Buzz topic or discussion this week. We're looking at entertaining success, the role of a manager. Oftentimes relationships go sour and you hear say, boy, the manager robbed the artist and all sorts of things. So we'll dissect that. More to come. Stick and stay. A dry break we take?
No.
So wait, don't open the ear none of my song.
Hold on, no, my girl, I rush things.
No, well, you're gonna do it. What we're
Ladies
gonna
and
do?
gentlemen.
We're gonna do a rhythm. Give us something dusty, Brian. Of course, you know Cecile.
You can't get dustier than that.
Yeah.
Dust off the-
Cecile and I-Reef will take us to a break.
Girl, no one, no 1 minute, man. I feel no outfit and panny long bones. Are you may sing too?
Yeah. We don't depend on 1 minute. Go through.
Hey boy, now come here with your pop down self.
How you know?
If you don't work, no make sense.
See it ya.
If you don't good, make can't help.
You just edit.
Make sure you comprehend the sentence.
Me can't
Bones,
hear.
make sure you blend up your juice.
Me do.
Back coffee strong can't lose.
True.
Back coffee strong can't lose.
Q.
Say it twice so you no confused. No one.
You know something like that, girl. You can't see it.
I'm just troubling you.
I'm going to link up my bridging Copeland Forbes. Let him manage a tour for you somewhere. Right.
Stick
my
and
friend,
stay.
you know.
No, you know, see man
Move
pants.
forward.
Man pants.
Pick up yourself and build up your life. Lift up your spirits and not just survive. From bar in a makeup, don't stop. Feel it up, raise the vibe with one bar, cause my life well up.
You know ordinary, sweeter than cherry. Rum bar in a man, what we do? Raise the bar, we rum bar. What we do? Raise the rum bar, raise the bar, we rum bar. What we do? Raise the rum bar, raise the rum bar.
Watch them a wanna back a high. No, sir. Where that's a go? whole fit and panny long, eh. Can I want a man a drop asleep with the walk and repeat all night. That alone we come for. Can I want a 1 minute man, eh. I feel your whole fit and panny long, eh. Can I want a man a drop asleep with the walk and repeat all night. That alone we come for. Hey boy, now come here with your pop down self. If you don't work, don't make sense. If you don't good, make your health fool. Make sure you comprehend the sentence. Make sure you blend up your juice. Back off is strong, can't lose. Back off is strong, can't lose. Say it twice so you no can. Can I want a 1 minute man, eh. I feel no whole fit and panny long, eh. Can I want a man a drop asleep with the walk and repeat all night. That alone we come for. Can I want a 1 minute man, eh. I feel no whole fit and panny long, eh. Can I want a man a drop asleep with the walk and repeat all night. That alone we come for. Tell a boy, me want everything, me want brother. Eat coffee firm like Gibraltar. Make you get wet, drip water. Hear me no man, if you a run too quick, if you a carry little bit, me a tell me friend them you ain't all that advertisement no get. Can I want a 1 minute man, eh. I feel no whole fit and panny long, eh. Can I want a man a drop asleep with the walk and repeat all night. That alone we come for. Can I want a 1 minute man, eh. I feel no whole fit and panny long, eh. Can I want a man a drop asleep with the walk and repeat all night. That alone we come for. Can't take less than what me deserve. Can't come for me and pick me up in a hearse. Can't shot change my purse. Can't reach me a go if you can't in a reverse. Breaker, 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 breaker. You don't want me call the undertaker. Me don't want to exaggerate. Why you go like me just
All right, want to say welcome back to those of you who are just joining us. You're inside the E-Buzz. Big up to our sponsors. Big up to Rum Bar Rum, truly Jamaican.
And of course, I want to say very special thanks to Mongoose Restaurant and Lounge, 52 Main Street in Ocho Rios. More than a restaurant, it's an experience. Telephone them today at 622-6942. Yeah.
All right, and now big up to our viewers on the internet at irefm.net. Remember, you can log on and watch us for free. And right now, you're going to be seeing Mr. Copeland Forbes gracing us with his presence.
I talk about how Cecilia Cosgrove and in sick. No, man, she should be.
Boys, don't take the song first.
No, I'm very upset.
He's just upset.
Her name is Black and Blue. But you know, but we're talking about bright red is Copeland.
Yes.
Yeah, Copeland, welcome. You look very well.
You look very rich.
Absolutely. You're going to have to give us that Forever Young cream, you know.
Yes.
Definitely, you have to give that to
I
us.
saw you buying the cream.
I have to give thanks to the Almighty, you know, because He's the one that keeps me going. Because sometimes I wonder how I do it, you know, because if you know where I'm coming from, you wouldn't be understanding. You know.
Are you coming from Indonesia?
Thailand via South America.
Yes.
I was doing some PowerPoint presentation and lecture about the music and the culture. That's what I do mostly now, you know.
I realize that,
Okay.
yes.
So it takes me all around the world. So I was in Koh Samui and Bangkok. Right, then I did the whole of South America, you know, and then I went over to London to help with the Jamaica 55th anniversary celebration at the O2, and then flew back over. Was supposed to be in Melbourne, Australia now at the AWME seminar.
Right, but the buzz is important, so you're here.
So I said, since I made the commitment here,
Yes. Oh,
You
wow.
know, let me-
Big up
So
to
you-
our fans in Australia watching.
Hello, you can't see. You can't see him now. No. Yeah. Hey, but first of all, you cut yourself a nice break. Australia is not around the corner, you know.
I know.
It's
I know.
a bit far.
So this was like a savior to get me from going down
All right.
under.
You don't have to thank us. We'll do it for you anytime. It's all right.
Right, but this is a discussion, Copeland. Of course, we have our music artist, I-Reef, and we have Cecile. And Copeland Forbes, you know his resume. And tonight, definitely, it's going to be a wealth of information. It is a topic that affects almost the entire industry at some point. Entertaining success, the role of a manager. You have managed some of the top-notch entertainers. I mean, the Dennis Brown, the Gregory Isaacs. What would you say is the role of a manager?
So why
You
topic
can go
I
home
know
now.
it's
You
very-
can go home now, you know.
Let-
We can go home now, you know. I done it done
Well,
now.
tell us from a manager perspective,
Yes.
and then we'll get Cecile's viewpoint
And
as an
I-Reef.
artist.
Yes.
Right.
What are her expectations, and also from I-Reef?
Okay. it's a very wide subject, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But first and foremost, the manager plays the role of the artist's brother, his companion, his father. He's just about everything to him, right? He has to play that kind of role. I have done it with almost every artist that I have managed throughout the last 50 years.
Right.
You know, I'm celebrating my 55th anniversary this year. So it's a very important role, and at the same time, you have to develop what is known as trust between each other. Respect must be there. If there's no respect, I can tell you.
It's a reject.
Exactly. And one of the things that has a kind of lacking in some of the managers them now. I hear people call them damagers instead of managers because they become a yes person to the artist instead of just being practical. People used to ask me, oh, you deal with Peter Tosh when he must this and that. I said, no, Peter is the most misunderstood person.
Right.
Because he's not arrogant. Yes, so he's not arrogant, but he call a spade a spade. And
True.
if you have an artist that you're working with, and you can't tell him the truth, because I always tell him that two kind of criticism. You have constructive criticism and destructive criticism. When I am talking, is about the constructive one. And if you can't listen to me and me going to tell you, who going to tell you? Your enemies?
Exactly.
You know, and most of them around you going to say, yes, boss, even if you're wrong.
Right.
Just to be your friend to get that tag-along thing. And I'm not like the person. I just tell you what it is. And he was one of the person that people used to say to me, say, boy, I don't understand how you deal with it. I remember when Bad Words was a thing on stage, and in 1982, when we did the World Music Festival, and the PA system broke down. And after 10 minutes him waiting, I knew what was coming, you know. So I made my exit from the stage and went to the dressing room. And then, when he pull him sword, if you could go up on the internet and Google it, you will see, when he pull him sword and start, Expleet went off because he was upset that everybody come and work, and then as him come, the system break down.
Right.
And when he came off the stage, he knew I was upset. I was sitting in the dressing room, and him they said, what them say me do now? I said, me talk to you when you go to the hotel, because I have a whole heap of yes man around him.
Okay.
Everybody said, yes, I, yes, I.
Yes,
and I
I.
said to him, listen, when you go on a stage, people come to be entertained, and you're like a preacher to them. Don't curse them. Don't use things that will lead them astray. And you know, the next show he did was Super Jam at the arena. And he did a show that the critics and all the writers wrote and says the greatest, that was his last show.
Right.
The greatest show he has ever done. The only thing, they were disappointed. They came expecting to hear the 4-letter words, and they didn't hear any. You know?
And if
Wow.
in even hearing that story, it took a manager with a level of expertise to understand that when your artist wanted to deal with the situation at that moment when he was surrounded by yes men was not the opportune time to have the conversation, but to realize that when you go back, you'll have that conversation at the hotel room.
And he understood that when I said, I'll talk to you. And when we get to the
It
hotel,
wasn't the place or time.
Yeah, just me and him sit down. And he understood.
Cecile, as an artist, what are your expectations from your manager?
Well, my expectations now are a bit different than what
When
I
you
expected
started.
when I started out. It went from me not being sure what they were to thinking that they were actually supposed or they had to do everything. Till I find out that nowadays it's best to actually have an understanding of what you expect this manager to do for you, and they must have an understanding of what it is
They're supposed to do.
what they're supposed to do, or what they're willing to do, or what they can do. Because a lot of times I hear this thing a lot, and somebody will come to me and say, you know, my manager not spending no money on me. And then I'm like, well, was this a part of the deal? Because your manager don't necessarily is supposed to spend money on you. They can, but you can have a situation where actually it's your money that's being spent.
Exactly.
So
I know that.
So for me, what I would want in a manager now is somebody to manage my career, you know, guide me in certain things, maybe try to help me to find executive producers. But I wouldn't necessarily expect the manager to be everything plus spending their own money, because I know it's probably not realistic to find everything nowadays, Copeland, in one person. So I find that you actually have to have several people nowadays because not everybody's an expertise at everything, not like Copeland is or was back in the day. It's very difficult to find that now. So for me, I would have just like somebody that, as Cope said, is willing to tell me the truth to my face, how business is, knows that also that they work for me, but I would have this respect and trust of this person. So if I can't respect you, I wouldn't. Right, that they have my best interest at heart. And somebody who doesn't mind explaining my business to me, because a lot of managers feel like they mustn't tell the artist what is going on, and that is so wrong. The artist,
no, that they have to know.
They have to know, and they
should
have
focus on creativity.
And some decisions should not be made without the artist unless you are sure that that person trusts you to do that. Because a lot of,
as he said,
people mash up them career by
that
not even saying, will you maybe change a little bit of how you are or what you want for this thing. Like some people will want $1 million to do something that 2 million people going to see. And you have to have a manager that might say, okay, you're going to get $50,000, but 8 million people going to see you. They have to be able to speak to you like that, and it's not just about a commission or whatever. I hope that makes sense.
No, it makes a lot of sense. How about you, I-Reef, as an upcoming entertainer, and your story is so true, raw, and real. What are your expectations from your manager? Because, you know, they took you from washing the car to putting you in a studio and helping you realizing your dream. What are you expecting from your manager?
Okay, really and truly, what I'm expecting from the manager: loyalty, truth, as you say, be real. If I make a mistake, show me the mistake that I make, and always be there for me. And because you don't know, artists can't manage themselves because sometimes you got too busy. Too busy, you cannot deal with so many things. So you must have somebody say, all right, you have to go this next week, or you have to go this the other day, or you have something to go do around this. You understand? So I need a manager like that to lead me on the right road. You understand? I mean, and him can agree and talk.
And start on the thing. No, one of the things. I was going to ask you that to Copeland, because Cecile said what she expected. I-Reef told us what he expected. Now, you as a person who's been a manager for a while, is there a generic arrangement that should be the responsibility of a manager, or it can be edited or remixed the way the artist said?
All right. One of the things I always do is encourage all the artists that I work with to read and get educated about the business that you're in, or you'll have misconception. One of the books I always encourage, and I still read it, is this book here that was written by Berry Gordy.
Motown.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And it's about how he managed his artists, how he set up his company. And there's something inside there that never leave my head, you know, right? There's another one here that says artist management.
The business of artist management.
The business of artist management, so they can understand what an artist, a manager, supposed to do. And finally, they must learn some things about the music business. And I brought this one here too.
Copeland, right? You are the best.
So they can read a lot.
This music, this business of music.
Yes. Yeah, you must know something about that. Then you know what to expect. Because honestly, I am very concerned about some of the present managers that we have. Because I see a lot of artists with talent, but they're just going down the wrong direction because the manager don't want to tell him the truth. I'm afraid him lose a little 20% or whatever. I'm afraid him lose the opportunity to travel and get a trip. So he become a yes man to the man continuously instead of being practical and show him. A lot of them now, I spoke at a conference on Sunday, Jamaica Music Conference, and I was disappointed to see the turnout that was there. And I realized that people said to me around the world, why is it you all people don't have some seminars in Jamaica so these people can learn and understand, right? I said, we have it, but they don't turn up. Now, if you look at the top 10 or 15 reggae acts around the world, most of them are foreigners.
Yes.
Right?
Not Jamaican.
I have a list of them, can read out to you. Foreigners are not Jamaican reggae group. And one of the main things that promoters will say to me is that the Jamaican entertainers and their managers don't understand that it is about 90% business and 10% entertainment.
Exactly, talent.
Yeah, and they don't have a business conception of how it goes. You're going to get up and just tell a promoter, my fee is $50,000. right? 'Cause I have had it said to me up to a couple months ago with certain artists, and that we call the name. I said him, do him find out what kind of venue, the ticket price, but you just get the price of your fee is 50,000.
Yes.
And that is it. Even if it's a club, it's 50,000.
I asked the artist the other day, $800,000. He never asked me
Right.
where or what.
That's the point. Him just make a fee. So this means that him and his manager don't understand the rudiments of the business. They don't understand the demographics. They don't understand the economics.
Right.
And that's why the foreign reggae groups them is benefiting more than us. Because they understand it. They understand years ago when the financial turn make worldwide.
Yes.
Everybody
Yes.
look at the Bob Marley festival that they used to have out in California. That used to be there every year because of financial constraint. Him had to just narrow it down, and it still couldn't work because the art. Him tell me said the
Too much money, man.
is charging some arm and a leg.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And them know why them call it. Them just make a price and say that is it. Which simply means them don't have good management to represent them. Because I remember doing some deals with a lot of my artists, especially on tour. And I would go to a venue, and then the promoter would say, boy, you know, I can't pay you more than X amount. It may be smaller than thing, but you know what I did? I said, okay. I used to ask for 15 to 20, and you say you can't pay more than 10 or 12.5. I would take 12.5 plus a 70-30 split over a certain figure.
Exactly.
That means if more people come in,
you still got to earn your money.
And me earn money. I did it with Third World one time, and the guarantee was 15,000. Right?
Right.
Plus percentage.
So they need the management to do that.
Yeah, they end up making, when I cut the deal, I end up making 35,000 on top of the 15,000.
Look at
I
that.
think what is being realized now is that you have a lot of persons in the position of managers, but they really are clueless as it relates to the business
part of
business
it.
and what is expected of them.
Yeah.
What would you consider to be the biggest misconception as it relates to an artist-manager musical relationship?
Sometimes I hear an artist who say, him not need no manager, him can manage himself.
No for them
It's
say
the
so.
biggest mistake that he will make. A big name one said it a couple years ago. I didn't realize it, you know, and now he's doing the right thing. I don't want to call the name. But
I think I know who. Copeland are going to have to drop some names.
yeah.
I think I know who to.
Right, but I instructed him when I heard, I sat there in the conference, I heard him saying, I pulled him one side, I said, don't go down that road. You are an artist. You need to concentrate on the creative side of your career. Because the business part of it, if you ever know, sometimes I am going through the night. I said, you know about 1 hour on stage. I know about 24 hours to get you that 1 hour on stage. And I have to make sure that everything is right for you. Your fees right, your airfare is right, your visas are together, and all this kind of things, everything. And the manager has to have a little knowledge about some of the international situation.
Yes.
Because if you want your artist to go to the top, right, you must have some kind of international connection.
Yeah, man.
I remember I used to see Sean Paul almost every week when he was coming up. Him going here, there, and I said, where you going? Oh, we're going to Boston, and I'm going to do a little one tune for a radio station. How much artists are going to go that far to go to one song for a radio station? But because he understood, he and his management understood what it takes, right? And what are the outcome from it.
The repercussions, the benefits.
So, you go around and do a PA here and do a PA here, and it works for him, and it helps his career.
Cecile had one to mention.
There's a big one that affects us here is that an artist might have a booking agent that is pretending to be a manager, and all that person does is books and don't even handle the booking properly.
A lot of that.
Yes.
And that is one of the biggest things.
Yeah, a lot of them in Jamaica right now operating.
The booking is actually the problem a lot of times.
Yeah, because the artists just look at 1 year right now, just for get some money.
Right.
So because this person says I can get you gigs, him is the manager, him is the
Booking
booking
agent,
agent, him is everything. But he's not really doing anything for the artist's career.
No.
The artist is the person who is doing the songs, doing everything, and he's the person's, most times it's actually not, I'm not even talking about the ones that's been there from the artist, had nothing. Like a lot of them jump onto a career and starts booking and then collecting 20% and saying, I'm managing you well. It's off your own name and work that these people are calling you anyway. So if it was you was booking this person, they would be calling. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to see it because I see it so often, and they're not even as detailed in the booking as Copeland is, because some of them have not even traveled to certain places. They don't know time differences, what airlines are the best airlines. I don't know. Say this don't happen here. So when you have a layover and where you have to go, like even simple things like the travel arrangements.
And they don't know what song hot where you're going either.
You know, Copeland, you mentioned something that I want to follow up on. You said that as a manager, you will work 24 hours just to get you one hour. But when a lot of manager-artist relationships go sour, normally one of the first things you hear, entertainers saying that they were robbed by their manager or the percentage was not properly paid out. Now, in hearing you say something like this, like spending 24 hours to get an artist 1 hour, you're talking about time that necessarily you cannot be compensated for.
Exactly.
And in saying that, we're not saying that to say situations and circumstances has not happened before where entertainers were robbed blind by managers. Right. But on the flip side, let us first look at managers who go out of their way, do all of this, and expect it to be compensated. And then when that happens, it's a situation where somebody's crying foul to say, look, I was robbed.
You see, what happens is that's why I said education is very important in the business. Because if that artist is not educated enough to understand, the first misconception is you're robbing him. Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And if don't look at the time that you have spent. Suppose I tell you something. In all my years in the business, I've never ever received a management commission from no artist I ever worked with yet.
Wow.
Right. People ask me then, oh, you survive. They say, if we book him, we get a 10%. The 10% go right back in our expenses. But because I'm looking down the line, I don't have tunnel vision. I look down the line further. Because once, this is what I love. This is what I've been doing. And I will dedicate myself to any artist that I see as the potential. You know, and I put out my whole, everybody know me as a workaholic. You know, I'm at it. People used to say, I see email that come from you 3 and 4 and 5 in the morning. When do you sleep? You know, and they understand that, right?
Mine was at 2:45 a.m. Yes.
Yes, you know, you see them come out at that hour.
Yes.
So the point is that educating them is very important. And one of the things I always tell every artist, never have the same legal representative that represent the manager and represent you. Get your own representative.
Legal,
from a legal standpoint, and let the manager get his own. Some manager will just encourage you for just use the same person. It's a conflict of interest. You see? So the point is, because they are not so well educated about the business and they don't understand it, the first thing I'm going to say, you're robbing them. If you ask them, show me you rob me, them can't even show you, know.
Exactly. Not show you, I'm upset, want my money back.
Yes, and you want which money them want back.
And still
talking to be fair on the artist part, you do have legitimate claims because a lot of times, as I say, they weren't being managed in the first place.
Right, right.
And what happens is that these artists sometimes trusted them, and it's only when things start to go bad that they actually start to look now at numbers and realize that there is something, some mishap going on there. So there are legitimate claims, and I've seen it myself.
Yeah, that's true.
Many times where the person was actually being robbed because this, especially when you have this one person wearing all different types of hat, like in charge of the production, in charge of the bookings, in charge of the management, and also double dipping. I know of one person who was taking 35% out of the artist fee for because they felt like I am your booking agent and I'm your manager and I'm this and I should be collecting
20 for this
and
10
for that
and
then
percentage.
I remember I had to go to a lawyer about that, and depending on what it is, it's called double dipping. You're really not supposed to be, because first of all, you're a manager, you're not managing one artist, so you must have a staff. You understand what I'm saying? So if you also have to understand as a manager what you signed up for. So you can't be billing the artist for every phone call you make. Right. I remember a manager did that with me. She was coming to Jamaica on a trip and she was representing me and Mr. Vegas. Yet she billed both of us fully 100% for the same ticket. I mean, even if she was gonna do that, she should have done it 50-50.
Right.
So she billed me 100% for the ticket that she came to do. more than two of us business too. And it's afterwards we found that out. So it's stuff like that that sometimes you do have
I agree with you because I will tell you something. You know, I remember years gone back.
Yeah.
I was partner with a very well-known person handling Peter Tosh and handling Jimmy Cliff. And he has a house in New York. And at that house, every star come there. From Betty Wright to the Jacksons, everybody. I used to sit there and watch it. And there was a phone bill for $40,000. And you know what he did? He split it in two and put 20 on Peter and 20 on Jimmy.
Wow.
And they don't know anything
And that's
about the phone bill.
US.
Yeah, well, that's US.
US dollars.
Yeah, and then I had to sit there now, and I look at it when we were going through with the accountants and the big wisdom, and I said, no, the artists don't know anything about this because you had 20 odd people staying at your house, and they all use your phone,
Exactly.
and you're just pushing it on this artist and pushing on that artist.
Yeah.
That's why I always encourage every artist to have things on paper. If you get X amount of money for this, get a receipt signed, right? So should in case there's any discrepancy when it comes to financial, you can just show it. Because everybody, I never do anything without contracts and paperwork.
I think one of the most important things that you mentioned a while ago, Copeland, is the lawyers. Each person need to have their
Separate.
lawyers.
Exactly.
Because if there's a conflict between you and your manager, let the lawyers deal it out. But if the two of them have the same lawyer, it's a
That's
big
a
problem.
And transparency, that is what causes the problem.
Yeah.
And honestly, the artists them sometimes don't feel they're too lackadaisical. A lot of times they have so much other things doing. You know, when you're a star and you have a lot of girls and you have a lot of friends, and you need to focus
Flossy.
on
A
your
lot of
business. And a lot of boys, you know what I mean. But and you need to know what your manager is doing. Your manager cannot tell you that you can't know. I go check on my business. It's my business.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
and that is a lot of it is the non-transparency where the artists don't know and the manager not teaching, because you should be able to do that.
It
too.
is in their best interest, I guess, not to teach. But what do you say to the person who is of the frame of mind that, look, I have a manager, I hire you and you're here to do this thing, and I want to focus on my music, I want to focus on this element of it. So you find that some people will say this is as a result of why this happened to me. So would you encourage them to perhaps get an accountant, increase their payroll?
Yeah, well, you see, in the early stage, it's going to be tough because it's young and coming up, right? But it's like when I just started managing Livewire, which from this year. We have meetings and go through everything, and they look on the paper before we go on a tour. They say, oh, the gross income, they say the expenses, they understand what is miscellaneous, and once they explain everything to the man, I always give every artist a copy of every single thing that they're involved in. Because if they don't have a copy, right, and they try to store it in their head.
It's not going to work.
I remember giving an artist last year $7,000 US deposit, and he refused to count it, and he never want to sign a receipt. Say, well, if you have to count it, come like I don't trust you. I said, no, it's about business, right? So count it and sign it. It's a good thing I stood up there. Because you know something? About 4 hours later, I got a call that they hold up the guy and rob him. I saw it on Facebook that he was robbed.
Right.
And then the main thing now you start to hear, maybe, me.
I mean, you shot him or never give me money.
Right, you know.
Right.
And I said, say I have receipts here, because one thing, I always have documents to prove every single thing.
And trust me, don't play with Copeland with documents. You'll pull something from the 1920s.
Exactly.
No,
Or before.
Or before.
Or before. But you know, Copeland, you know, one of the things I think that our music artist, I-Reef, is getting a
wealth of information.
You're getting a whole bunch of information today.
What are you taking from this discussion, though? Because here it is, you're fresh, you're new in the business, you have a manager, you know, you respect and rate your manager. You said what you were expecting. Listening to Cecile and Copeland Forbes talk about some of the principles as it relates to management, artist manager, and what should happen. What have you taken from the conversation?
Oh, really and truly, like he said, paperwork.
Yes.
It's very important. Yeah, so you have to make sure you put paper to what must be done with your manager. And I learned that from him. And with the artists, them to us, he just pick up somebody and say, right, I'm a manager this, book for me and make money, and you can't do that. You have to have good relationship with the person to be a manager for you, like a brother and a sister. you live close, you know, like a family.
Yeah.
Where one can reason and laugh, run joke and even cook and sit down and all a vibes.
Yeah, for broke bread.
Yes.
It's important.
Yes, share with each other. That's how me and my manager roll, like a brother.
You know, one of the things I like, though, and Copeland is very important when you mention in terms of how urgent is it, especially between manager and artists, to have contracts. A lot of them don't have contracts.
You can say it again. A lot.
I mean,
I don't
majority
know why. A lot
don't.
of them just don't interested. They're only interested to see the money.
Right.
And it come in and them just take it, put it in their pocket. The minute it not coming, right, then they start to have speculation. So I always encourage paperwork, because if you go in a court, believe you me, because
You're no problem.
Yeah. I love to have paperwork. So when I hear somebody run them out, I say, look at this.
I'm going to create a scenario for you. You have a brethren who's managing another brethren. So them say, and him say, why don't you do a contract with the artist that you are currently so-called managing? Him say, no. Him no want to tie up nothing business with him. Him a watch him first. To see how him a go operate. Him next thing him got time to a contract and him go do something. And him can't get out of it. What would you say to somebody who has that viewpoint of how the artists, how they will operate with the artists?
Well, it's a good thing you say that, because one of the things that I've noticed happened over the years is that contracts, sometimes the manager don't even understand the contracts themselves.
All right.
But they pretend like they understand it and just explain it to the artist, pure crap. Right? And that's why it's always important to have a legal representative representing each side differently.
Right.
Because sometimes a contract will have, say, a 3-year contract, but it have an extension clause, and the manager don't understand it, that 6 months before it ends, you're supposed to send them a notification to say, I don't intend to continue.
Right.
If you don't do that, and you wait till December 31st, it expires, it just automatically extend itself for another 3 years. And then the artist say, but we never signed for 6 years. Because him don't understand it, and the manager don't understand it neither. So he don't know to explain. So it's always important that the artist try his very best to seek legal advice and not just dependent, especially if the manager is not so much of an experienced manager. Sometimes you have somebody, you know, is a brother, your cousin. I never encourage that though, you know. Honestly, I never encourage the family member unless it's somebody really experienced. Because emotions come inside of it.
Yeah.
When it's a family, or if it's your husband managing your wife, or vice versa, or a boyfriend to the next one, it's very, very a touchy situation.
I think the boyfriend is probably the worst.
I have been through it, and I know it. You know, because you have to reach a time where you're going to have to separate now the personal.
And that's kind of hard.
And it's hard because when you go home now, the tone is on the same pillar.
And in the middle of the love, you know, owe me one money.
I have a beef. I have a beef with the managers though. Like, and I've seen this happen so often in Jamaica. Like, and this is with experienced managers. So I'm assuming an experienced manager has a management contract. The artist signs it. You know, they've been working with the artist. They know what's up, and they're getting their money. Because so far it's been with artists that, okay, maybe they were working with them from the beginning, but they start to make a lot of money. Everybody driving big car. Okay, so the artist reaches a point. The artist, whether they are fine with their management or they are not fine with their management, meaning they love them and everything, whatever, but the artist reach a stage where he feels like he wants a change of management. What is the problem with letting go? It's in the contract. There's no breach. We will need to renew it now, and I do not feel like I want, it has never personally happened to me, but I've said, I don't feel like I want to renew my contract.
So the 6 months before.
So whatever. So what is this big thing with sabotaging people's career and me bust him from me? So whatever. What is this? You know what you signed up for. It's not just the artist. It is in the contract that you have. You're getting paid. Right, the artist might feel like he wants to move on to somebody who can take his career to a next level. What's the big deal?
Nothing is wrong with that. And I love changes too. Changes are good sometimes, God. That's sometimes they make that change. You see things differently.
Yes.
That even if you feel and you want to go back to the person, you can go back.
Right.
But what's she right? Sometimes people say, me boss him, me do this, and me
And
that.
hold on so tightly.
Exactly. You don't want to
Listen.
give the artist his information and lock him out of Facebook. You do all the. I mean, come on. Like,
Too
I
personal.
don't like that.
And I
Yeah.
think that is just when feelings has been activated.
So
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
something to just educate
No,
young
it
artists
is,
about.
and it like a lot of manager entertainer musical relationship. It is a relationship nonetheless, and relationships when one party wants to let go or move on. Sometimes it's easier said than done. It's not an easy thing to walk away from or to let go. So some people may hold on too tightly, and that does not mean that it is right.
If a manager doesn't want to let go, if the artist doesn't want to continue, something wrong somewhere there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's something that the artist don't know, and him want to hold on to that. You see what I mean? Because nothing is wrong. If I work with an artist and our contract up and he say he wants to move on, I said, fine, congratulations, I wish you the best and blah, blah. I'll always be here for you if you need any advice in anything, and that's it. You know
All
what I mean?
right.
And there are also managers who walk away from artists too.
Yeah.
They
Right,
say,
because
you know, it's all good, but I don't feel like
It's
I
not
want to
working
manage you
out.
anymore, right?
Yeah, I have done that. You know what I mean? You reach a point where, you know, especially when the artist not being honest and upfront, doing things behind the back, you just reach a point where you say, that is it. You know,
Cut
you
them
throw the
off.
towel and that's it.
But guess
All
what?
right, on that note,
We're
we
going
have
to
to put
cut.
a wrap on the discussion, but it has been fantastic, entertaining,
Fantabulous.
success, the role of a manager. Can somebody say properly dissected?
That chop
Going
up.
for a break, plus we have the highs and lows on social media with Tony T. Stick and stay.
You might give it the dusty ready man again. You know.
Oh, so let's have Cecile.
But I-Reef
I-Reef time for
But
true.
I think Copeland needs to say something on the track.
Copeland, introduce I-Reef on this dusty track, so him give us something live. Acapella. Well, not acapella, live.
Go through. Copeland Fox. This is legendary.
Introduce I-Reef, Copeland.
Future is so bright he wear dark glasses in the night.
Just fasten your seatbelts, extinguish all cigarettes. We're about to take off on I-Reef FM.
I-Reef!
If tough every day, me this a seek for more. Sufferation, me still a seek the cure. More time me hungry, lip a seek for sore. Inna me belly, me see hungry, a seek for store. Life tough every day, me this a seek for more. Sufferation, me still a seek the cure. Enough time me hungry, lip a seek for sore. Inna me belly, me see hungry, a seek for store. Life tough all the while, no sometime. You know me search me pocket and me can't find a dime. Hungry make me a fool for the fool like me blind. Me did tell them say me nah waste no time. Right now is a breadfruit tree me a go climb and pick some ackee just to make me kind. Hungry he get sour like lime. Me a go digit and sell it and me nah waste no time. Me tell you life tough every day me this a seek for more. Sufferation me still a seek the cure.
I think this is Copeland, you know.
Attention all taxi drivers and mechanics. CN Link front end parts. Great value for money. Ball joints, tire ends, rack ends, engine mounts and bushings.
The time by CN Link is
9:45.
Raise the bar, we rumba. What we do? Raise the rumba.
Pick up yourself and build up your life. Lift up your spirits and not just survive. Rumba in a makeup, don't stop, fill it up. Raise the vibe with rumba, cause my life well up.
You know ordinary, sweeter than cherry. Rumba in a hand. What we do? Raise the bar, we rumba. What we do? Raise the rumba. Raise the bar, we rumba. What we do? Raise the rumba. Raise the rumba.
Reggae Radio, I-Reef FM.
Wet Sundays in association with Magnum presents a night called Magnum Wet Sunday 90s dancehall style. Sunday, November 19, 2017 at Auto Vision, 8 Hillview Avenue, featuring the 90s Kings of Dancehall, Stone Love.
Stone Love sound will play every time.
Sky Juice, Metro Media.
Sound for dead, Metro Media, not
Ladies 500, men 1000. Magnum Wet Sundays 90s dancehall style. Sunday, November 19 at Auto Vision. Be your own boss and floss. Must be 18 years or older to drink. ID required. Drink responsibly. Raise the bar, we rumba. What we do? raise the rumba.
Pick up yourself and build up your life. Lift up your spirits and not just survive. Rumba in a makeup, don't stop. Feel it up, raise the vibe with rumba, cause my life well up.
You know ordinary, sweeter than cherry. Rumba in a way on what we do. Raise the bar with rumba. What we do? Raise the rumba. Raise the bar with rumba. What we do? Raise the rumba. Raise the rumba.
Come on, time is up the essence, you see.
I-Reef and Russian. Man, I suffer too long. I tired to sleep on floor. I just can't take this no more. Life have to rearrange. Where life be over. Where life be over. Me want money fi enough for buy people in a coaster. Rich me say come in a loafer. Where life be over. Where life be over. Me want money fi enough for buy people in a coaster. Man I think I'm in no joker. Me have to work hard in a deep boiling sun. Full speed ahead right to Maxi.
Yes, and of course we're looking at all the beautiful accolades being bestowed on the Royal Copeland Forbes. Look at all these beautiful awards.
Copeland, describe for listeners and our
These are
internet
nice,
viewers who are watching with this one that
Nervous,
I'm holding.
this one that look expensive.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that one is what I got at King's House on Heroes Day. It's the Order of Distinction for my contribution and the work that I've done over the last 50 years in the upliftment of our music culture.
So you're really Copeland Forbes OD.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
I mean, in another realm, that's actually not a good thing. But this is an excellent thing.
Yes.
Congrats, Copeland.
Congratulations.
And I must give credit to all the players, musicians and entertainers who I've worked with over the years.
Yes.
Because without them, I couldn't have accomplished all of what I've accomplished through the music.
And which one is this one?
That's called the Bush Doctor Award.
So you were in the bush?
No.
Yes.
Well, because they had the first awards presentation for Peter Tosh 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, they awarded me the Bush Doctor Award for the work that I've done again,
with Peter.
you know, over the years. And even it was my concept that brought the band back together after 35 years and to initiate the Peter Tosh Music Festival along with the estate and Pulse Investment and everything. So, you know, it's good to get awards.
But I prefer to get rewards. Thank you.
And you know, Copeland is great. It's great when your home country can recognize your contribution to the music.
Well, you know something?
Thank you.
What you said is very important because I have over 200 awards at my house, and people always look around and say, "But I don't see any from Jamaica."
Right.
Last year, while I was at the Peter Tosh Museum, the Prime Minister and Jackie Campbell was walking, and they turned to me and said, "Have you gotten a national award?" And I said, "No." And they looked at me as if,
"Oh, you don't get that yet?"
They couldn't understand.
Right.
And I said, "Well, you know, because I love the work so much, and I put in more than 100%. I don't really like fighting or working for an award, because my award is in heaven with the Almighty, you know, and that's what gives me the health and strength to keep going and pushing along." You see, Cecilia, look, every corner of the world I go, in Europe, I see her on a stage.
Tell us about it. Tell us about it, Copeland, because sometimes when we ask the entertainers themselves, they will hype it up more.
No, this is a serious thing. I remember when I took the onstage TV with me on tour in Europe.
Winford?
Yes, and they saw Cecile in Reggae Jam in Germany.
Yes.
You know, they were shocked and said, "Oh, she get on that stage." I said, "She up there performing, 40,000 people outside here, you know, and kicking hell." You go up to Sweden, the same thing. In Spain, the same thing.
Really,
and I said
Cecile?
to myself, I wonder if people
Are
in
you
Jamaica...
Sharon me one?
And I said, I wonder if people in Jamaica realize how great an artist Cecile is and the kind of audience that she plays to and pull in. And it always bothered me, you know, to say, yeah, because when I say bother me in terms of if our people recognize...
No, man, she bad, man. That's why she named Bad Girl.
I know.
But you see, Copeland, nothing happens before the time, because I remember when we had done our documentary on you, Copeland Forms, a king without a crown.
Yeah. And if I crown now,
it was subsequent or a documentary that, you know, we actually highlighted. I mean, it has always been there. And then, you know, persons, including the Jamaican government, perhaps look into themselves.
Yes, I tell you, this is that piece that you did. You know how many people around the world wanted to get copies. And I had to tell them that if you're going to use it, you have to give credit to Kishiba Francis
Look
from
here.
and I-Reef.
But by the way, Tony,
it was a very well work done.
I must let you know, though, Copeland, you have to be careful giving her too much credit. The problem is water gathers here. And
look, I don't normally take credits like that, but when it comes down to my intellectual property, then you know.
But it was a work of art, and it's not just me saying.
She knows her stuff.
People around the world saw it, they read
it,
man, and they use it in their curriculum, in seminars, and all other things. That when I go to some place, they said, "Yes, I read that thing that they did on I-Reef, and it was on the website for almost a year."
It is still there.
It's still there.
Yeah,
because people just love it.
We're gonna have to get a needle.
I just wanted to say, I was looking at Kopi, waiting for him to finish to say, and I was about to say, and I've gone all over the world, and I've always seen Copeland, and he's such a gentleman. I love him so much, and you know, he always like, Cecilia here, and you know, we talk, and as he's saying the frustration, I understand what he's saying, and he knows I understand, and it's kind of like exactly what I was saying to you.
Yeah.
It's why I'm trying to do the Cecile Band project, because I think a lot of what myself and other artists have done, Jovi Rockwell.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
Even people like Tamichin, we're so underrated in certain things that we do, and we're seen like more of a dancehall artist when we're really not just dancehall artists. But I just wanted to say congratulations to Copeland. It's somebody that I love so much. Here. And you deserve it, Copeland. You deserve it.
Yeah, you deserve it.
Congrats.
You know, one of the nicest things to, you know, is like if you see Copeland like on a show somewhere or on a cruise. I remember we were on a cruise this year, Copeland sitting down. I think it was me and Copeland and Winford, I think. Me, Copeland and Winford Williams sitting down at the table, you know. And when when Copeland says, "Boy, if I want to tell you the story," I said, hold on, let me go get some food and come back. And this is going to take a little while. Time is short.
All right. Well, we're going to go to Tony T. So
right.
Week after week, you know, social media, the digital age, everybody is about posting.
Yeah.
So what Tony does is to capture the highs and lows on social media. So we're going to go to that and find out what are the highs and lows this week. Tony?
Take it away.
Hey, I'm Tony T with the 411 on What's Poppin' on social media with your favorite celebs. What's hot, what's not, your social media highs and lows. This week, there's a cool challenge in the spotlight. Here's your social media high. A number of key players in the entertainment fraternity are pooling resources together for a good cause. Dancehall for a cause. That's the current challenge on social media, raising funds for popular dancehall selector Nico Chromatic of Chromatic Sound, who will soon be undergoing a kidney transplant. Sean Paul, Taros Riley, Agent Sasko, Mr. Vegas, Ding Dong, Alaine, Devin the Doctor, Governor, Dre Island, and selectors Footer Hype and Super Hype are just a few of the entertainers endorsing the cause. The challenge is on. Producer Scatter Burrell has pledged to purchase 75 tickets, whether that's general at $1,000 or VIP at $3,000. That's more than a good look. While entertainment manager Ramesh accepted Scatter's challenge and shared a photo of his written check of $50,000 towards the cause, while stating that he also contributed US $500 to the current GoFundMe campaign online. Hashtag dancehall for a cause, challenge accepted. It's a good look.
When we done vices now by 9:30.
What's not? Awaken the beast. Wake the dead. This is what some social media users are asking after a video of Gully Bop readdressing his homeless situation surfaced yet again. Sometimes it's best to let sleeping dogs lie. It seems nothing has really changed. You can take the man out of the gully, but you can't take the gully out of the man. The comments are vicious. All that money this ugly man make and him still don't have a tooth in him head, but this one might have taken the cake. But wait there, me not think circus pack up and gone already. Well, this circus is over. That's the deets on your social media highs and lows. I'm your girl Tony T. Who will it be next week? Watch that post. I'm out.
Why? And I tell you the truth, I worry for Tony. I fret for Tony sometimes and people come check her.
No, not somebody I check
Tony a bad girl. Tony said that ugly boy.
No, like those were social media comments. But
I just love how she said,
like we were, like Cecile mentioned, just listening to that situation that would be a classic mismanagement. Would you say, Copeland in Gully Bop's
well,
situation?
I went to tell you I had one experience with him, and I wouldn't want to have another one.
Okay, so it's an artist thing.
Yeah, you know, I mean, what I saw was literally madness from when leave Jamaica to when him coming off of the plane in a St. Martin and a Trinidad and a St. Lucia where go. And then when he get to Trinidad, the fight, him and the manager.
Okay, so I guess the comment was right about not being able to take the gully out the man.
Then he pack up and he gone home and the promoter called me and said, can you find him? Them sent police at the airport and look for him, can't find him, don't know where him is. When I saw that madness, I said, you know something, that's crazy. I would never associate myself with that kind of situation. You see, and more people will just start to take it out on the other person when it's not so.
Right.
You know.
Wow.
I saw that there was
all right, happy
a bit
for
of
that
madness.
clarity there, Copeland.
I did see
well,
that.
we have some 4 minutes remaining. I mean, time really go by quickly when you're having a blast. So any uplifting or parting words, Copeland, I-Reef, Cecile, and real quickly, where can we see you perform, Cecile? We heard from I-Reef earlier. So
yes, well, I would just like to encourage all our entertainers. We have what it takes, right? We have it in the rough, and all we need is to get polished up and get more professional, and we have abundance of talent. I see so much talent around, it's unbelievable. But if they are not properly guided by good management, that talent will just go to waste. So I encourage them to develop a good relationship, act professionally, and remember, it is 90% business and 10%
talent.
in talent and entertainment.
Yeah. Wow, so learn that.
all right,
Well, I
someone
think
just
Copeland-
needs to true word, I suppose.
I think
Bless
Copeland
you.
covered everything.
I-Reef.
And where we see you perform? I mean, or do we need a visa?
Well, actually,
Most of the places, yes.
Actually, my next performance is Dubai and Qatar.
Okay, so
All right,
November
same thing.
You know, I must say that,
Nothing
I should say
local?
that, you know. There's quite a few of our female artists who are very big in that region.
Yes.
She's one of them.
Yep.
Elaine is one of them.
Yes.
That when I make my research with promoters down there, and I said, my God. And they said, Cecile, cark this place. Elaine, cark that place.
Nice.
You know, it's unbelievable. And I'm glad.
Big up
because
the
the female,
Yeah.
to know it's female who's doing that work in that region.
It's so funny because my competition for Dubai on the 2nd is Etana. So both of us will be on the same nights in different venues in Dubai.
I want to big up my virgin Kevin
That's really
Hilton.
nice. Big up to the females.
Big up Kevin Hilton in Dubai. He's a promoter down there. He will always say to me, Bones, Popcorn big down here, you know. And he say, Sean big down here, you know. But Cecile too, you know. Right? So he will always give me a say, who else down there? I said, I can't tell you who is hot here. You need to tell me who is hot there. But big
I
him
never
up.
said Cecile not hot here.
No, I didn't say. Cecile is so hot, she burn up her toe.
Well,
I mean, she loves her job that I even saw her one time working, and she had her baby on the side of the
Really?
stage.
Yeah.
She took the baby with her because she knows it's important to work and to have our youth with her. And I commend her for that.
Special.
But you know what? I feel like I haven't been. You know, sometimes you feel like you reach somewhere and you're not supposed to be promoting yourself as much because you feel like. And I realize nothing is to be handed to anybody, no matter what level you're at. So if I feel like I need to prove something to my country, then well, this is where I'm at right now. So there's a lot of promotions, and we've started just this week into next year. Then I got tired for Simi. So I need to say, all right, then you don't know this. Well, this is what's up. So,
hello.
All right.
All right.
And
I-Reef, literally have a minute. Roger Haspel is standing by for cutting edge for Mutabaruka.
You mean
but,
Rooster? Big up Rooster.
Any parting words?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, love, less crime, because the country got so bad, too much killing, innocent, kill people for nothing at all. Them need to think more positive and get back some more love in them heart. You see it? All that me I say.
All right, those are some strong and positive words to end on.
Thanks,
Thank
I-Reef.
you, Copeland, Forbes, I-Reef, Cecile, for coming through the e-buzz and being on time and being absolutely professional. We truly appreciate it.
And
Thanks
I must
a
say
great deal.
congratulations to I-Reef for the great work they're doing, especially where our national music, reggae, is concerned. Keep doing what you're doing because it's transcending.
And Copeland, you cannot be late because you have on 2 watches. One on each hand.
All right.
Time will never pass you by.
Exactly.
Big up to our producer, Shamara Preston. Big up to DJ Brian.
Big up to Mark Hudson, the man who keeps us connected, and of course our studio engineer, Nicholas Francis. And of course, join us next week for another exciting edition of the E-Buzz. I'm DJ Bones.
And I'm Kishima Francis saying big up to our sponsors. Big up to Rum Bar Rum, truly Jamaican.
And thank you to Mongoose Restaurant and Lounge, 52 Main Street in Ocho Rios. More than a restaurant, it's an experience. Telephone 622-6942. Stay tuned for Rooster. I mean,
Roger. We out.
Roger, Muta, Ruta. Big up Roger. Big up yourself, you. Ruta is on the cruise.